I had
There
a
she
day today.
is. Leader.
The leader of the pack is coming in.
Leader of the pack. Vroom.
Hey. Hey, Suzanne.
Hi.
Hi, Inga.
Hey, Suzanne.
Hey, Leslie.
Leslie.
How we all doing?
Hey, Steph. Racing, Doc and Steph both racing home from work to be with us.
I know. We
I'm
appreciate
eating
you.
pecans for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that said walnuts.
Oh, there's
I'm
the
not
walnut.
even
Oh,
thinking
sure
about.
shit does.
I'm not even thinking
It's a
about
nut.
dinner at this point in time.
Nuts! Nuts! I'm eating nuts!
Either way, Yoongi
I'm
could
eating
crush
this.
them with his bare hands.
And they'd be like, "Oh, it's a heart." No.
Yoongi crushing walnuts with his bare hands.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
that's a moment.
Uh-huh.
That's a moment.
Yep.
in Batman history.
It's as good as you think it is. So go look it up. It's as good as you think it is.
Check it out.
I mean, you
It
can be
is
doing
so
anything.
good. It is. It really
I
is.
know.
I mean, Yoongi doing anything is a moment in time. So
I
Okay, I'm
mean,
pulling up the
Valid-
agenda.
valid
Let's see,
point,
where are we?
valid point. I'm trying to get the agenda.
It's
to
got
pull
things
up.
on
It's
it.
moving.
he
Things
goes
are-
viral.
Hey,
for
Evie.
taking off. He goes viral for taking off his hat in front of an immigration officer at the airport.
That was
I mean,
one of the greatest moments of all time. The hotness factor was 10 out of 10. That was
I
glorious.
mean,
Listen,
Yoongi is usually
that
at his
TSA
hottest.
agent had to be Army.
I think
They
he's
had our
at his-
backs, man.
I think he's at his hottest when he has literally no idea what's going on or what he's doing. He has no, like, he's not trying at all. Like, literally, he's just existing,
Not even a little.
and he's very confused why anyone's looking at him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like in the concerts when he doesn't know, everybody starts cheering and it takes him a minute to realize
That he's
that
on the screen.
that he's on the big screen, and then he's like,
yeah.
Oh,
Ooh, me?
well, user lots of numbers said, "I found you all."
"Hey, uh-oh."
Oh,
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Trust me.
Welcome.
We're usually pretty fun. We try to have a
We
lot of
are.
fun.
Yep.
We are. And even
are.
when the subjects get, kind of difficult, or we're talking about something real serious, we still do a good job. So
Yeah, you found us, but can you catch it?
You catch them all.
Hey,
Like,
Kelly.
look at Riven usually. You know what, Riven? You know
I
what,
would like to
Riven?
see her try.
You know what's weird? I've not been on a live on TikTok in
A while, right?
I don't even know how
It's
long.
been a hot minute. It really
Oh.
has.
I know it still feels
Yeah,
real
because you
weird.
were
huh?
working. You were working the last few Wednesdays.
You know we
Yeah.
love you, Riven. You know we love you.
Yes, exactly. Has anyone ever suggested week tea merch? That is
Vaguely,
a really good idea. And you know what's funny about that is I was just thinking about that because people on Twitter will call BTS, they'll put a little B emoji and then they'll put a teacup and then they'll put the letter S for BTS. And I'm like, that's cute.
How convenient.
That would be really cute. And so if that somehow got into like a week tea merch kind of a thing, I think you got something there, Colleen.
Well,
Colleen,
our little teacups would be really cute.
yeah,
Yes, Colleen.
I love.
Hi.
I love our
these
week tea
teacups are the
teacups.
greatest.
They are.
Yeah.
Shoot, I should go get mine. Why don't I have mine ready for week tea Wednesdays?
Mine's
Jeez.
back there.
I got lost in the mail.
Oh,
No.
I know.
I know.
Here.
So
Colleen.
I think I can announce this tonight, but we have one person missing right now.
Oh yeah. I was like,
You
I think we're
you
gonna
can
say
go
something.
forth. Go ahead.
One person is missing because Katie, our golden matinee, had her baby yesterday.
Yay!
Katie baby.
Yeah.
As I said,
Mama-
our golden maknae had her golden maknae.
Yes, Mama and baby are doing great. We've gotten some pictures in the Discord, including ones that Katie shared in the general chat for everybody to see. But baby's doing good. Grumpy little scrunchy face.
She's so cute. Oh my gosh,
She's
I'm dying.
eating well, and
The
Katie is
name
doing
is not
well.
100% settled on yet, so we're not sharing that.
We're going
Yeah,
with Jen.
yeah.
We could
we're-
share our acronym name.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're calling her Jem,
Jem.
Jem. So please feel free to call her that.
That's
I don't
what
know
we're
if I
call-
should
that's
tell
what
you
we're
what it
calling her.
I don't know if I should tell you what it stands for, and yet I really, really want
We're
to.
You
I
should
know,
go
but
for
we-
it. You should just go. You got to explain why the middle part, though.
Well, so for the longest time, some of us have been trying to convince Katie and her husband to name their second child Jimin when she arrived.
We've been working real hard. She's
They,
been ignoring us.
they
thoroughly.
did not go for that. They did not go for that.
Matt,
They
Matt,
really have
I don't
been.
know why.
I don't know
You know
why.
what?
It is.
I
both-
blame Gordon.
It is a
I blame
genocide
Gordon.
in Korea.
You know, I feel like this is not Katie's fault. This is
It's a unisex.
there's other people at play here saying nay.
Yeah, there's other. So Jimin
Stamping on our
was
jaw.
shot down, but we decided to adopt it unofficially, and then we were trying to come up with like a really like jazzy fun name yesterday, and so I just was looking. I was like, okay, what's every day it's like, oh, today's National Whatever Day, blah blah blah, and so like I was like, okay, what's today? And I looked it up, and April 8th is apparently National Empanada Day, and I was like,
Yes, it is.
no. Calling a
We can
newborn
work with
baby
this.
a little empanada just sounds so adorable, doesn't
That's
it?
adorable. That's
Little
adorable.
empanada. So then she became Jimin Empanada, and then I was like, oh my god, if we find something with an M, we could call her Gem, like Gem, like like the cartoon, like Jimin's shirt is inspired by Gem. I went on a whole thing, and Leslie then very wisely suggested Mochi.
Obvious
And
choice.
so she is Lady Jimin Empanada Mochi the first
The first.
flyer.
Gotta add
And-
that. So Jem
and-
for short.
and-
Jem for short.
Baby.
And and then once we
know-
name something or get something stuck in our head, it's not going anywhere. It's going to be that way
Going nowhere.
forever and ever. So
She's
Hold
been
on.
four. We'll
She's
still be
not
calling
gonna
her Jem.
understand why her Bangtan aunties all call her Jem. She's
Right.
gonna be like, "The fuck is this?" And we're gonna be
Right.
like, "Listen, Lady Jimin and Banana." The first.
Listen, Lady Jimin Empanada.
Listen, ma'am. It was the
Ma'am.
whole thing.
ma'am. Anyways, so so just real quick. So Katie,
Hi, Diane.
has her baby. Everything's great. Everything. So to celebrate, what does she tell us that she did? She ordered the Run BTS Poly board game to
From her
celebrate
hospital bed.
from her hospital bed.
You know,
She ordered
she
the Run
needed
BTS Poly
needed
game.
a whole human. She fucking deserves that poly game. Yeah, she does.
But
She deserves
guys,
it.
it's
yes.
not for her. She got
Right.
it for Kansas City. We're bringing it to Kansas City so that we can play it there.
Yeah,
We are. It's gonna be great.
but
I hope
mean,
that a BTS poly game is faster than a regular Monopoly game. Otherwise, it's the only thing getting played in Kansas City.
We're gonna be playing
be
that
like,
thing for 2 days straight.
You win, Grandma, and you throw the board
Taking
for
turns.
It's been 8 hours.
And she also showed up to our admin meeting for like 15 minutes because of course
she did. Because of course she did. Because we wanted to see her, but also because, no matter what, rain or shine, baby from hospital bed, we're doing BTS stuff. So I love it though. Congrats, Katie.
Yes.
We will.
That's Katie.
Thank you
Yeah,
guys
and
so much for all your kind messages in the
Yeah.
Discord as well.
Yeah,
Very,
and
very sweet.
she told us that she might try to pop in tonight, just depending, because I think little baby Jem was sleeping all day, so probably will be up most of the night. Ugh. So
As they do. As
So don't
as
count on
they
it.
do.
Her sleep schedule's all wacky.
Yep. But so Katie's got two girls now, two little girls. So,
It's so pretty.
Oh, and
So
big
cool.
sister did meet little sister today. And
Yes. Will the baby be a bad?
real thrilled.
That's some callback to 529
That is
lore.
some OG
Nicely
529
done.
right there.
Well done.
Nicely
Nicely
done.
done.
Nailed it with
That
that
was
one.
really nice. Yeah, so
days
Big
before
Sister
we
was real
were.
thrilled
Yep.
until she was told she couldn't have her donut until she put her baby sister down and immediately put the baby
I'm done.
She was like, well,
Donut.
okay,
Bye.
donut. So
Yeah.
Which
Have
really,
a
that
donut.
was a valid choice. It really was. It was a valid choice.
I mean,
it was. So anyway, all right. I think we
Guess we can
can get
welcome her.
started. Yeah,
Steph,
we got
did you get the agenda?
Stephanie's doing the welcome.
Crap.
Hello.
Sorry.
Crap.
You're doing great.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to TikTok. Well, at least to some of us. Did I happen to find the I have stories about that. I'll explain later. Okay. Welcome to our Wednesday Night Live, which is the week T edition, which means we try to find some drama, but not too much drama to where we have to be like controversial. We're like
It's a
just
weak
mildly petty, mildly drama, like focused, right? Okay, sorry. I'm still in my work clothes. I just got this hung up and now I can't
I'm
get
always still in my work clothes on a Wednesday night.
Oh my God.
so
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, so let's introduce. You've got Christina.
Hello.
I feel like I'm just introducing you to family who already know us all, but I'll just do it
I
anyway.
know.
Okay, so Christina. Christina is our number one graphic design person. She does a lot of our all of our merch with Katie. They work together on that. She does our images for our website, and she and Quinn stay up till the butt ass crack of dawn working on the website every Sunday,
With
getting it
Doc,
ready.
Yep.
So that's Christina. Then you have next to her is Patricia, our Spaniard.
Spaniard. You say it with like the accent, which is awesome.
Spaniard.
Totally by accident.
It somehow sounds like a super cute puppy when Stephanie says it.
Oh, she is the inventor and curator of our Moss City map, and she makes sure that everybody gets added because she has to go in and physically add each person to the map as they sign up. She does that, and then she also loves she likes a lot of deep shit. Like she likes to dive into psychological stuff, and she writes blogs sometimes. And she does spreadsheets, and like when I did my Who Is series, she did all the graphics for that. So she does all kinds of different stuff. And then we have Quince, who writes our blog and hosts a watch party on Thursday nights, which you should join. And then we have Doc, who leads our research team and does all the research and gets everything ready and compiled and hands it over to Quince to write the website. And she's a real life doctor. So she doesn't just play one on our lives.
I play one in real life.
Yep, she's a real life doctor. So there we go. Oh, and then we're missing our golden maknae, Katie. As you know, she's had her baby, but she is like the manager of us, the babysitter of us. That's what she does. She helps with the website. She helps with social media. She helps with graphics. She does the store. She does like the back end version of the store. So if you guys love that, that's her. She corrals us. She does our money.
She does.
All that. She does a lot of shit. So there you go.
She's our tiny
Yeah,
little mom
and last
boss.
night when we were
love
like,
her.
so what do we need to do while Katie's doing this thing with the baby? And then we were like, that's funny. Like Katie's gonna let us do anything.
Right. Like hands off, everybody. Just leave everything
We're like,
alone
what
for
we're
a couple
gonna
of
do is business as usual.
No,
With a few more eyes on areas that she normally covers, but just like not like push in, just kind of eyes on, and if they slip, then grab them. But business as usual, basically.
Yeah, she's like, baby's mostly sleep. So what am I supposed to do? I'm like,
otherwise, what I'm
right.
not going to have is tiny mob boss come at me for doing her job. Is what I'm not going to do.
here's what we're not going to do.
Not in the cards. What we're not happening is for her to come at us.
Yes, Lana,
and be
that's
like,
correct. It's better
why
to
are you
ask
taking my
forgiveness
job?
than permission.
Yeah.
I live by that.
I hear you.
A few months
I hear
ago, she
ya.
was like, you guys aren't gonna try to like replace me, are you? And we were like,
No.
Listen, have
First
your
of all,
want
you're
that
the
job.
only, first of all, you're the only one. You're the only one who could organize us like interviewing people to take your job anyway.
Exactly.
The only one
As
who
if we
do that
could.
anyway.
As if
As if
any
we
of us could take her job. Listen, I love spreadsheets. Her spreadsheets are confusing as shit. I love them too. I love spreadsheets. I'm the biggest nerd. But hers, they're overwhelming. I can't.
Yes.
I can't even with hers. Like hers, I get in there and I'm like, nope, back away.
Yeah.
Just
I don't wanna see
Love
it.
even.
Even if we did have the wherewithal to try to get together to like actually like I don't know, like say interview somebody who could do stuff that she does. Once they started talking to us after 10 minutes, I'm like, you know what?
You know what?
I'm good.
They'd be like, I have to control the 5 of you, and I don't get paid. No.
Yeah.
Even the cat is pissed about the thought.
I know,
can hear it in the
exactly.
background.
Yeah, no,
He is
exactly.
like letting us know he is
Yeah.
dissatisfied.
Yeah.
He's like, I
With
do
the
that.
idea
Yep,
okay.
exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, so that's us.
Yeah. Patricia, we already mentioned the map, but if you want to.
So, yeah, we mentioned the map. So, what are we about? We're about content and finding community. And we do that by getting people together. You can do it through the map that Steph mentioned, where you can find friends in your area. We also have a Discord server where you have a bunch of like threads for local places, like different areas of the world, not even the United States, everywhere around the world. And we also have an in-person meeting that we organized last year in September, but this year is happening in July 25th. We're going to be in Kansas City. We have around 100 people attending, and this year we're going to spend 3 days, because last year it was like a day and a half. This year is going to be like 3 days of shenanigans. So we're going to do a lot of things. We're going to run BTS games. We're going to do a costume party. We had an auction last year. There's going to be so much activity and craziness. We're going to decorate the doors of our hotel rooms. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to be running around like crazy, and it's going to be great. So join us. I think that there's still open spots. So if you want to join,
I think we're like 2/3 full, right? Right, Steph?
What?
Over, yes.
I think we're like 2/3 full.
Yep. We've got like 30, 40 spots left, so there's room.
There's room. Somebody said, "What's in Kansas City?" We will be.
We will be.
It is a centralized location in the middle of the U.S., which is where all of us admins are located, and a lot of people in the project are located in the U.S. And so we're scattered all over, but Kansas City is centralized. So it's near, and where we picked is near an airport. It makes travel easy. So that's why we went, and it's the same place that we went last year. It's only our second year, but it's the same place we did last year because it turned out to still be the best deal for us for the size of meetup that we wanted to have.
Right. But I just did see a question though, or a comment. Mrs. Park said, do you ever do California? I'm not going to spoil anything that we talked about last night, but we do discuss what the future looks like ahead of us in terms of our meetup goals, because the more 529ers that we add in different places in the country, the more we would like to go to where you are to have Army fun. So it's definitely something that we're talking about. So
yeah. But if you're considering coming to Kansas City, just think about this. We all live in different parts of the country. I mean, like, we are all in different time zones of the United States. So we all go and congregate there. And this is like the most amazing pajama party you've ever been to in your life. It's like a slumber party with your girlfriends that love BTS. And it's just like so much fun. We kind of take over that hotel. And
Completely.
I mean, the staff loves us because we're fun and we're happy. So
Yep.
A lot of fun. You can find information for how to sign up, or even if you just want to learn some more, at ap529.com/links.
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
I thought you were finishing that sentence. Sorry, I was quiet while you were finishing that sentence.
I think Quince is next.
Okay.
Stephanie mentioned the blog that I write. That's the other part. Patricia was just talking about community. We have content as well. Content and community is what we're about. Stephanie's idea for the project started with the blog, so to speak. It kind of molded itself into the blog. Basically a journey through BTS's discography chronologically. And the idea was to do it while they were in the military because we wouldn't have anything to do.
Nothing. We'll be bored.
Relative silence.
Relative silence.
There's gonna be nothing.
What we were promised.
But that did not turn out to be true as it happens. But we decided to just do it anyway because that's what we said we were gonna do. So since January 1st, 2024, we have been every week releasing a new blog. And we started at debut for BTS, and we worked our way through their discography until we reached chapter 2 in the solo era, and then we started doing solo months for each of the members. And we go in fan chant order. The 529 in Army Project 529 stands for the amount of time between January 1st, 2024 and Festa of 2025. So we're almost there. We're almost
So
done.
close.
We have worked
We
our
are.
way through almost all the members. We
I
have
know.
just started. We are in April.
April.
It's
April.
all about Tay.
Taeyong. How dare you?
Taehyung. All about
Shells,
this-
will you please answer Mimi in the comments?
Yes.
So yeah. We
Can I ask a question about what
Always.
you're talking about? Have we
Always.
ever figured out, like, okay, so we came up with the idea like literally mid-December, okay? And we all got together and started planning mid-December. It launched January 1st. Like, when was the first inkling that, shit, they're going to start doing stuff? Like, how far into it were we before we realized that stuff was going to start really coming out? Does anybody remember?
You mean like before they got
Oh.
back or after they got back?
Before they got back.
Before, like, while they were gone?
Before they got back. Like,
Well,
When we started
Well,
thinking
it
there was
wasn't
not
too
going to
long.
be anything.
Didn't
wasn't
we
too
had
long.
the-
It was
didn't we
only
have
like
the
maybe-
Yoongi movie.
Yeah,
In
because
March?
Maybe.
a couple of them they released songs almost immediately, and then
Jimin
Hobie's
did. Jimin
album-
did come out.
yeah,
closer to-
Hobie's album came out in like March.
Okay.
Yeah,
And we had a single from Jimin, we had a single from Taehyung, and then we got the announcement about Hobie's
Yeah, it
album,
was-
and we were like, "Wait, what is happening?"
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
shortly after that, we started getting the stuff with Namjoon's album,
The
and we were like,
first get-
"Oh,
Yeah.
oh no, oh no!"
The first get-togethers that we did were for the Yoongi movie.
Yeah,
the
Yoongi's
concert.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, and he did-
I remember,
Yeah.
which I remember
Meetups.
that were like the things that we were talking about. What we were talking about when that happened was like, so when there's a concert, there's an OT7 concert, we can use the things that we did for this for
Yeah,
the
because I
for the
remember
Yeah.
we had a lot of people sign up on the map and come into our server, the Discord server, because of Yoongi's movie, because we were coordinating.
That was April 21st.
meetups. We were
Yeah.
coordinating meetups for all the different cities.
Yeah,
Or
and then we started
regions.
doing watch parties.
When we started
Yes.
doing watch parties.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I think,
I was just curious
you know,
what our
by
oh
the-
shit moment was.
By the time
Yeah,
the
I think
Hots
it was
album
around
dropped,
then.
we were like, "Oh fuck!" I think
Yeah.
I think by the time Hots dropped is when we were like,
Fudge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
"They're just gonna do shit, aren't they?"
They're just gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, they just they're doing. They just planned all this. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Very
yeah, because
shy.
we
We
got
started-
like the announcement for Yoongi's movie, the Friends and the Hots, all like boom, boom, boom. It was like we were being whiplashed all directions
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
Because I
and it
think
was
they
so
started
fast
very,
that we
very
got all that.
shy. They started very shy just with that song that Jimin released out of
Mm-hmm.
nowhere.
Closer than
And
this.
then
Yep.
he
And
added,
we were like, "This
yeah,
is so
then he
cute.
added
We
two.
love this."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then boom.
So yeah, April, our first week of Kim Taehyung's month. We will be having our watch party tomorrow. Talk more about that later. So as it says on our agenda, April hath begun.
Begun. Because we got to
It
add
hath
V to
begun.
the beginning of words when we were talking.
And
about
the first blog for April is called "I've Been Hiding It Until Now." So come and check it out.
So cute.
It is ap529.com/blog. If you haven't checked it out yet, yes, blessings, everyone. Thank you.
Blessings.
And
I thought that was a typo and it was supposed to say vegan.
The gun. See,
I was like, when did
I
he
knew
announce he's
Lisa
a
would know.
vegan?
I knew Lisa would know. I knew she would know. I knew she'd have this. She was on the same page. We're good.
How's the cloud, Steph? How's the cloud?
It's okay. Breathe, Stephanie.
Oh, that's funny.
as much as they all lose their mind when somebody's cooking meat,
None of
I
them
thought I
be
really
vegan.
missed something here if we found out he's a vegan.
You don't see that happening ever.
Oh, you
Likes burgers too much.
girl. Anyway.
moving on.
All right.
Anyway,
On
here we
that
go.
note, for those of you who don't know, we as a project, we go live twice a week. On Sundays, we do a deep dive into a topic that's either pertinent to current events or pertinent to the blog. And we do that over on YouTube on our channel, Army Project 529. On Wednesdays, we do our midweek tea, which is when in the middle of the week, we tell you all the member news that happened that week, OT7 news that happened that week, Hive news that happened that week, and we give you the week tea, which is the shenanigans that have been happening out on Kim Namjoon's internet this week. So this week, we're going to be discussing a few things. You're going to want to stick around, including evidence that we were in fact correct on Sunday when we were telling you and talking about who are we really fighting against in these online fan wars. Who are we fighting against? So you're going to want to stick around for that. And then Stephanie is going to tell us all about her trip to LA to see Hoseki again. Juan Hoseki out here fucking shit up here in the U.S. She went to his LA concert because Chicago wasn't good enough.
No.
So she's going to tell us all about the fun and the shenanigans she got up to. It was a lot. There was a lot that went down. I was only mildly jealous and wanted to be there with you. Maybe.
And I was only
It's fine.
completely in my right mind during part of it.
It's fine. You know what? Slight insanity is
Listen,
expected when
we're on
John the
TikTok
fuck
again,
Hosick is
remember.
involved.
I
Oh yeah,
can't
we're
even
on
tail end of
TikTok
his
TikTok.
fuckery.
I'm sorry.
All right, so
I
into
can't.
member news. Let's start with Kim Namjoon and Patricia because we always go in fan chat order here at
Kim
529.
Namjoon.
Yes.
So we start with
Kim
Kim
Namjoon.
Namjoon.
Where is he? Where's my picture of Kim Namjoon?
We got an Instagram story this week. The only thing we got from Kim Namjoon. He showed us some pictures of him with some friends from the military, which is becoming kind of a tradition here. We get a lot of those. He was wearing a very cute pink headband on it.
It was adorable.
Another
It's fucking
friend. And in the words of the story, he wrote last one in English, and then in Korean he wrote with a military helmet and a saxophone emoji, and then he wrote goodbye my friend. I can only assume that last one means that this is the last person that they're saying goodbye to before he gets out.
That's what it would. That's what it
Probably.
does seem
Seems
like.
like.
Yes.
Like the
So-
last group that left before him.
I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
he really
This'll
wants
be-
to go.
At least within his friend group that goes to those photo.
Yeah,
booths.
I'm seeing all these memes of like, this is how Kim Namjoon is gonna leave the moment that they let him out, and his people running away like crazy. Free Namjoon. This man wants to leave already,
Mhm.
and he's seeing it really, really close, really close.
So
So
close. Yes.
2 months, man.
Free.
We're gonna be back soon.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. Oh, it's
All
me.
right.
Okay.
Yep.
I talked about my boyfriend Jen, who I haven't seen in a while. So almost everything that I'm saying here is based off third-hand knowledge.
Third-hand knowledge.
Okay, I just watched pieces of things. Okay, is it Kian?
Ian.
84.
Okay. Kian's Bizarre B&B, the first 3 episodes have dropped. I did watch a little bit of the beginning of it, and then I was like, I cannot watch this without Sean. I'm going to make him watch it with me. So far, hysterical. Hysterical.
It's a wise choice.
It's the strangest thing, and it just goes to show he has the most mild-mannered, like can go with the flow with anything, because the shit they have him dealing with would send most people
I watched
through the roof.
all
Yes.
3 episodes. and it is wild.
Oh my god, I can't even wait.
So
Are
funny.
there
fantastic.
only 3
entertaining.
episodes?
No,
Out
there's
right
so
now.
far.
3 a
Oh,
week, I
okay,
think.
Okay.
3 have dropped so far.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
It's
we get
so
to see
good.
him interact like a normal person with a female, like not weird, not like oh, you know what I mean? Like he's like
Multiple
normal
females.
talking.
I mean, interacting normally with a lot of people. Like
Yeah,
there's
there's a lot of people.
There's like a brief moment. There's like a couple of brief moments in the first episode where people are like, "Is that fucking Jen from
Is that
BTS?"
Jen?
And they're like, "What the fuck?" And then after a while, nobody even remembers who the hell he is. They're like, they don't care anymore.
That's actually the best kind of celebrity, right? One that is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
becomes so normal, they just fit right in, and you
Yeah.
lose all the whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, then there's a new episode of Run Jin out, which I did again watch part of the part where he was getting the massage, and it was the most hysterical thing I've seen in a while. So he has to keep his cool. Here's the thing: so they put this watch thing on that like monitors his heart rate, and then it can't go over 100 more than so many times, and then they just put him in the worst situation over and over and over again. And trying to see if they can get his heart rate to go over. I've not seen the end of it, so somebody may have to spoil it. But what I did see was very funny.
I actually saw the beginning of it, and I thought it was hilarious because every single situation they put him in is completely designed to make him lose his cool. So it's awesome because he's trying to hold it together.
Even the guy, even like the host talking extra slow. He's like, move along, man. Like he's just like, come on, spit it out already. Yeah, it was amazing.
Very good.
And then Jen posted a still from from the show, Kian's Bizarre B&B on Weverse, of him all sweaty and exhausted, and he asked, "Do I still look good?"
That was
That was a comment on that picture. Yeah, it was so cute. Also, I thought it was cute that he replied to somebody calling him princess.
Yes.
Which reminded me that in the teaser for next week's Runjin, at the very end of this week's Runjin, he's wearing a T-shirt that says "Don't mess with the princess" with a crown on it.
Very cute.
And that fucking shirt sold out in 30 minutes. It freaking sold out in 30 minutes. But yeah, don't mess with the princess. It's got a crown.
Can I add,
love
even though
him.
it's not on the agenda, I have to say, I also watched just a little bit of the behind the scenes of Hope on the Stage
Oh yeah.
today. And there's nothing that gives my heart more joy than hearing Jen call out to Hobie and Hobie call out to Jen.
Oh, they're so fucking cute.
Oh,
I
Jen!
know.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Just makes me giddy.
Jen.
Yep.
Oh, Jen!
Jen.
It's so good.
It is. It's the best.
It's so good. All right. Are we ready for some Yungles? Yoongi.
I think we are. We
Yoongi
are.
missing hours officially open, or do they ever close? No. Just want to see Min Yoongi again. But we can wait. We can be patient. But let's talk about one of the most fun parts, listening to his music while he's gone. And 2 years ago today, we got the D-Day track list for D-Day, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna read this track list just so we can
Right.
appreciate this man's genius.
Okay.
So we have D-Day, Higum, Huh, featuring J-Hope, which that song, Amygdala, SDL, People Part 2 featuring IU, Polar Night, Interlude Dawn, Snooze featuring Ryuichi Sakamoto and Wusung of the Rose, and finally, Life Goes On. 10 tracks, life-altering,
All
produced,
perfect.
written, sung, rapped, absolutely amazing, smashed it all by Auguste himself.
No skips.
So,
My life.
no
You know
skips.
what's wild? What's
Changed
wild
my life.
to
Punch me in the face.
is he in 2 years, in just a mere 2 years, he dropped this album, went on a fucking tour, enlisted in the military, dropped a documentary on the old movie theaters, and then on Weverse, and he's almost back in 2 years. All
I
of
know.
that shit took place in just a mere 2 years, and that is a
Yep.
bit mind blowing to me.
Yep, it's true. All right, does anybody want to guess what's the most played track off of D-Day on Spotify?
I would guess either snooze. I think it's either snooze or Hig'em.
Hig'em.
Yeah, I was thinking Hagum.
It is Hig'em. Yep. Hig'em has over 500 million streams.
I mean,
I
it's the
always
one
thought
I
that
play.
Snooze has
It's the
not
one I play
has
the
not
most.
received the love it deserves.
Yeah, well, it wasn't.
Yeah,
It
that
wasn't
song is
a
brilliant.
released like a single. So, but I
Right,
agree.
right. And actually, in order, I just did this. You're not even gonna look. I'm gonna show you how nerdy I am because I was thinking about the
I
track
love your
list.
nerd.
I made a spreadsheet.
Oh yeah, you're so hot.
Ooh,
And then I was like, well, it's got to have a pie chart too, so we can talk
Fuck
about
yeah, it
which
does.
song. It's got to have a pie chart
pie
too.
chart.
Why don't we have this for every album of theirs? Is what
Exactly.
I want to know. I need you to get
So
your
in
shit
need to
together.
go to the website.
Don't worry.
So if you're looking for songs to listen to on Spotify, of course you can listen to whatever songs you want in whatever order. However, if Hig'em is the most played song, they go in descending order. It goes Hig'em, People Part 2, Amygdala, D-Day, Snooze, Interlude Dawn, Life Goes On, Huh, SDL, and then Polar Night is the least played. So from
Because
the
that one
top,
puts you most in your feels.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you're right, Cassie. I was thinking of Katie when I was doing the
Yep, we all
spreadsheet.
did. We were all like, "Oh, that's a Katie nod."
Katie
Yeah,
would be. I know.
for sure.
You have never been hotter. That's all I got to say about that.
Doc
You know
is in her
who's
simp era right now.
you
That's
know
all I
who's
gotta
never
say.
been hotter, but he can come online and prove me wrong. You know who's never been hotter.
God, that man.
I mean, valid.
I mean,
Valid.
D-Day era Yoongi.
D-Day era
was-
Yoongi.
Oh,
prove me wrong
that was chef's
in
kiss.
2 months.
That
Prove
was
me
chef's
wrong.
kiss, Yoongles.
Anyway,
Immediately,
all
I'm
right,
telling you, hair supplements get it growing the
Yeah.
second. If he's
do
not
I
it.
was about to
growing
ask,
now,
but I didn't want to seem like
Do it.
petty. But I'm like, how soon or how far away from release can they begin growing their hair? Like, how much growth can we expect?
I mean,
Upon
I feel
release.
like J-Hope had a lot longer hair than did Jin at
Than
release.
Jin
It
did.
was almost like he was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm going
Need
to
to
play
look.
the long game and do what I can and go
I
for
mean-
maximal growth before I leave.
Yeah, but
That's what it felt like, at least.
this
So-
man just needs hair hanging in his face. Like it just completes the whole aesthetic. So
Yes.
I love all of those men with longer hair.
I
Fucking last one.
Yes. Agreed.
It's a little bit shaggy. Just
Yep.
a little shaggy.
all right.
Jin's
We
hair
love
did
you,
grow
asking
Yugi.
fast.
Yoongi
It
for his
really
long
did.
hair back, he would probably also appreciate us.
His
asking
mom
him.
wanted it
Yes.
back. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So, in honor of things that Yugi would ask for too, ways that you can support. Let's do a little break. Ways that you could support AP 529 with cash money if you so choose, and we so do appreciate anyone who chooses to support us in that way, because we got to keep the lights on. We got to pay for the blog. We got to pay for all the little programs that we use to do all the stuffs. So we have 2 ways. We have a Patreon. And we have a shop where we do original merch designs. And so for the Patreon, I opened up and to see just who we had lately. And so I just want to give a shout out. We have a new Violet VIP as of today at 2 p.m. Welcomed Katrina. Welcome, Katrina.
I
Thank you
believe
very
she's
much.
here. I've seen
Yes.
her comment. I think if
Violet
it's
VIP.
shout yourself out if you want to.
So thank you so much. That is so cool
Oh.
of you.
Yes, thank
And
you.
yeah, and we talk all the time about the new stuff that we want to do, and more stuff coming. So just know we're getting. I would say probably we've been getting excited, but our conversation last night, like we were really getting excited about the new stuff that's going to be coming along. So.
And we kept
Anyways,
saying, we have to tell
Katrina-
Katie. We have to tell Katie what we're saying. We have
And
to
then we
tell
were
Katie
like,
what we're
somebody
saying.
writing it down, and we were like,
Oh gosh, none of
do
us
that?
were
Writing
writing
it
it
down.
down. The way in which my memory was like, fuck, we didn't write none of this down.
I
as
did-
we
I
figured
recorded
out
it.
what we were doing
I
today.
recorded it.
No, but we were figuring out the agenda, and
Oh,
then I
yeah.
was like, none of us fucking made a new one and wrote it down like Katie does. Like that was smart of us. I love that for us.
Love that for
Speaking of things Katie does, Katrina, if you have not yet been added to the Violet VIP channel in our Discord server,
It will happen
DM your username to Patricia because she has the power to add you to that. So
Yeah, nice.
Also,
give your username to Patricia so she can put you in that channel.
also for the another trophy winners from the other night, we're sorry. We're sorry for the delay for guessing Tapril because Katie went and had a baby and it knocked us all out of sorts. So
Things
we'll get to
Katie
you.
does.
Don't worry.
It
Sometime
was
this
very-
week.
she had a baby and it was very much about us.
Yep.
It was really about us.
We
She
found
had
a
a
way to make
baby
it
and
about
we
us.
were
Early. It was like a week
immediately
early,
very
and we weren't
lost.
ready for that.
Not at
So
all.
we're not
Immediately
prepared.
lost. We
We're
were
protesting.
bereft in a sea of
I was trying to
ignorance.
figure out how to do things on my own. And
We're like, just fine. Okay, then go ahead and have it.
that's fine. Have the baby.
No one
Listen,
asked us.
Part of the
No
problem
one got
too.
permission.
All we had a baby.
Listen,
We had a
the
baby.
ways,
That's right, Ribbon.
the ways
Nobody
this
asked for
baby.
maternity leave.
Listen,
here.
guys,
Nobody did.
the way in which this baby is already a fucking diva. Listen to me. We were supposed to have admin Yeet week because she was scheduled to deliver on Monday, and I'm having surgery on Friday. And so she's eating a baby. I'm eating a gallbladder. It's fine. It was planned. It was planned.
Yeet week.
Yeet week.
Week.
It was a whole thing. But Jem said, I am not sharing my week
I will not
with
share
your
my
fucking gallbladder.
This is going to be all about me.
I
All
am
about
not
me.
sharing my Yeet week with your fucking gallbladder, Dad. So I'm coming early and having my own week, okay?
She was like,
Fuck
how dare
off
you,
with
Doc? How dare you intrude on my
How
moment?
dare you try to tread upon my exit week, you ridiculous human.
Dare you lump me in with an organ that serves no purpose that other organs can't perform?
She is like, I am the,
The
Macne
audacity.
of the Macne. How
Right.
dare you?
Preach
She was
me
like,
as
I
such.
don't even care. I don't even care if your porcelain gallbladder is special and porcelainy and not a normal one. I don't care if it's rare. I shall not share my week.
Oh.
Well, and Katie has now been knocked down to silver Magne. And Jem is now
true.
golden Magne. She's the chosen one. So
That's true. That's true. We did, by the way, I'll have to show it the next time. I'll have to show it off. But we did send her a bib a while back. It has a bunny with sunglasses on it looking real cool and smug. And it says Macne privileges.
Yeah.
So the baby does have a bib. This says Macne privileges.
And she's
Anyways,
already
go ahead.
showing that she has privileges.
yes.
Yeah.
Came early.
Exactly.
She's got more
So,
privileges than I've
aside-
got, I'll tell you that much.
Aside from our wonderful Patreon and the shop that we work hard on, there are also some non-monetary ways that you can support us. If you can't support the other way, but you still want to support and help us out, we got you. You can do things like our live that you're watching right now. Like it. You can share it with your friends. If you watch us on YouTube, do the same thing. If you haven't subscribed or followed us, do that. We're on pretty much all social media platforms as Army Project 529. You can also follow any of us individually. We pretty much, I think we've almost all, Christina is Christina, AP529 instead of she's just on the project account right now. I think we've all pretty much synced our socials to kind of represent what you see here, our names here for the most part. If you look up variants of our names, you should find us on any social media platform.
Look for fakers. We got fakers.
Yeah, make sure it's real.
Good deal.
And follow and share, and then like and share our posts also, and then tell people about us. If you take part in the project in any way, shape, or form, and you enjoy it, please feel free to talk about us on social media. Share our links, share our videos, tag us when you do, hashtag Army Project 529. Just let us know whatever you're talking about, because we would love to see it and share it too, and comment.
That's awesome.
So yeah, please. Those are all wonderful ways that you can support us for free skis.
Free skis.
Moving
You
on.
know what we
free.
should do? You know what we should do, Christina?
Mm,
Because
what?
now that we have fakers that are mimicking us, much like we have the official Bangtan social media page on our website, we should have official admin social media page.
That's a really good idea. Yeah,
Great
that's a good
idea.
point because
But
yeah,
we have to have Katie for that, so.
No, we can do
No,
it.
Christina's got access to the website.
Oh, that's right.
Christina does.
We all
Christina
have-
does
yeah.
all of
We
our
all
blogs.
do.
We
Yeah.
all have
We all
access.
have access.
I have
we can-
access. I just dare not do anything because I'll fuck it up.
Yeah, but
That's fair.
Christina
That's
can
fair.
absolutely do it, and
That's
so
fair.
can
Yeah,
so
and we can
Patricia, so.
we can talk about that in the week tea, because when we talk about who we're fighting, you got to make sure that you're like also who you're
You're even
like
fighting
talking
a
to,
real
you're friends
kill.
with, right? Because somebody's claiming to be our backup account on Twitter, and not
It
cool,
ain't-
bro.
it
Not
ain't-
us.
It ain't us. Ain't us.
Not
Not
us.
cool. Anyway,
Back to
All right.
member news.
So back to member news with John Hosick. Speaking of this bitch. J-Hope!
J-Ho.
J-Hope officially completed his North American tour of destruction with LA.
This guy.
Yeah, he did. This man. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyways, he's going to move on to Asia after this, but we'll talk about that in a second. We did get a Bangtan episode on the old YouTubes today for his Seoul
Watched it.
concert.
He's great.
In which, and I'm not going to spoil the whole thing for you, but we did learn that all 14 of the Bangtan parents attended his concert. He
I love
stated
it.
not one parent was missing. Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna
Sweetest
cry.
fucking thing I've
Tell
ever
me
I
that-
heard.
know.
Shut the
We
absolute
had
fuck
heard it,
up.
We had heard the rumors before, but hearing him talk about it was extra special.
Like,
was so
yeah, we
cute.
had seen rumors about from the people who were at the Soul concerts that parents were there, and many of them sat together. But to hear him say, not one parent out of the 7 members, not one parent went missing from his concert. Like, I just about sobbed in a corner. It brought out all my feels. It really
Yep,
did.
I
That was
know.
like the
I
cutest
know.
fucking shit, because he was like, he went on about how like basically they're all parents to all
Yeah.
of them, and
He said we're all their sons.
And then we had some fun headcanon imagining like J-Hope doing Bapse and Yugi's dad going, I did not approve of this. I did not approve of
and then
this.
in my head canon, he's doing that, and his dad nudges his mom and goes, "I taught him that."
And his mom is like,
Kinda.
Anyways,
She's looking at the other
It
mom
was.
like,
That's my
oh,
head
no,
canon.
listen.
it was,
All right,
it was
after-
very sweet.
In other situations, at roughly 4 a.m. this morning Central Time, Hobie went live for 10 total minutes to tell us he was back home in Korea. So fucking cute as shit. And
That doesn't
also excessively teased and basically stated that there is a very high probability of a the final in Seoul. He's teased this many times, but he told us that all of your expectations are probably coming true. Like, okay, sir. As like that was during all of the people in the chat being like, "You coming to Seoul for you're doing the final concert here, right? You are going to do another concert here because what you gave North America is not the fuck what you gave us, and we need you to come back and serve some country, my
I
sir."
mean,
And he was like, "I mean, everything you're wanting is probably happening," and we were like, "You motherfucker." Okay, fine.
I mean,
I
most
slept
of
through
us
the whole
can say
thing.
because Weverse chose not to tell anyone about it until almost an hour later.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get the notification at 4 a.m. I got it later.
If they do that when
Also,
Tay
I was-
goes live, I'm gonna riot.
I know.
Listen, Tay never goes live enough for you to watch the fucking ad before his
I
thing
know.
unless you're
It'll be
paying.
like 2 seconds later, he's gone, and we will get the. I mean,
Listen, 100%
Yeah.
worth the $2.50, so I don't have to watch some fucking ads at the beginning of these lives.
Yep.
The $2.50 a month, so I get the
I know.
little the subtitles that are total shit but better than nothing.
They're terrible.
And I don't have to
Really
watch
awful.
the ad. The lack of ad is really what I'm paying that $2.50 a month for. Realistically, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because worth it. All right,
So
he
when
kicks
is
out
going
the
next?
Asian. He kicks out the Asian tour, a leg of his tour on Saturday, April 12th, and Sunday the 13th in Manila. Now,
yeah.
based upon information available to us, we should be receiving a third single. And we should get the performance of it on Saturday. And if it follows the tracks the way the other 2 singles have released, we will get the ability to stream and buy and all of that stuff most likely Friday, April the 18th. So Basically, my advice to you is find all of the gourds that you can find. I know yours wore out by now. Find them,
Borrow some from a friend.
borrow, purchase, whatever you need to do to collect some gourds.
Going
Gird
to
your
the
loins. If you
Amazons.
have loins, like gird your loins, whatever is left of them, because there's a third single coming.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Speaking of Mona
It feels
Lisa
like
and
it's
Sweet
escalating.
Dreams,
Yes.
yeah, it does. It does, because we got Sweet Dreams, which was cute and adorable, and then we got Mona Lisa, which is fuckery incarnate. Speaking of which, Mona Lisa hit #1 this week on TikTok's music chart.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew it, but TikTok has a music chart, and J-Hope just topped it.
Didn't know, but now I do.
Yes.
Nice.
You know, #1 on TikTok's music chart. He is also now the third Korean soloist in history to have multiple songs spend multiple weeks on Billboard's Brazil Hot 100 chart with Mona Lisa and Sweet Dreams. So I thought that was fascinating. Very fun information.
Well.
Reminder, we have a scavenger hunt for the J-Hope. The J-Hope tour. Stephanie, do we have a deadline for entry on that one? Do we know? I didn't have time to catch.
You when the tour
deadline
is
for that.
over.
When the tour is over, that seems valid.
I don't know.
Anyway,
You
so
think,
go
Steph?
to ap529.com, guides, HOTS
I
guide.
think you're
and
muted,
AP
Stephanie.
Sorry. I said that would have required forethought, which I use none of.
So at the end of the tour, that's
Yes.
our final answer.
Yes.
When he's done with
yes.
his tour.
That gives
Okay.
everybody time to get their pictures up, tagged.
Yeah. So there's 14 tasks. You can choose to do one of them or all of them. They're over on the AP529 scavenger hunt underneath the HOTS guide page. And for each task, we want you to make a post on social media, tag Army Project 529, and use the hashtags Hope with AP529 and AP529 Hobie Hunt on your post, and then give us a link. There's a Google Drive document where you can post up to 14 links for each task. To be entered into the drawing. And the winner of the drawing receives a red crossbody bag that is very similar to the one Hobie wore during the Love Yourself concert tour. It is also the one
I'll show it.
that
Hold on.
it's like the one they sold
yes,
on
show us.
Weverse. Yeah.
Oh,
Stephanie
nice.
has possession.
No,
Stephanie has possession
it,
of this
show
prize
it,
in
show
order
it.
to mail it out to the winner. And listen, competitions be slim out here. Look at that. Look at how cute that
Yep.
is.
Yep.
That's what you win. All you have to do is drop your URL links into the Google Drive document we have on the website. So super exciting stuff, and
Hey,
maybe
Teresa.
I'd be ever in your favor.
Teresa,
Teresa.
We miss you. Love
Hi.
you.
our fighter is here.
Love you. Yes.
Hi.
We're just talking about Hobie ruining us all.
Just
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about hubby.
Pretty much.
Out here. I saw a Twitter post the other day, and they were like, so basically, collectively, we agree that Hobie has just biased all of Army. He's just, all of Army is collectively now a Hobie bias. I'm pretty sure we agree on this, and I laugh.
Listeners.
He has been doing a supermarket sweep. He's just taking all of Army and just swiping his arm, and just like everybody's falling into
He's
the hubby
taking those
bucket.
big slabs of beef, and he's like,
All the turkeys. All the turkeys.
all
in the cat litter.
Man, you can
Yep.
tell
He's
our
out here-
ages. We're all sitting here remembering those fucking big ticket items.
Listen, this motherfucker is collecting them from all ends. First he's sweet,
Cough
then
drops
he's
and the
sour,
Tylenol.
then he's rude as shit. This motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like, it
exactly.
doesn't matter what you like. Do you like the soft little cutie pie who takes us to bed and showers and brushes his teeth with us? Or do you like, the man fondling his nuts on stage? Because you get both with J-Hope.
His acorns, by the way, is what we're talking
Acorns.
about.
Acorns.
Listen, early on in his North American tour, he asked, what is this called? And somebody fucked up hardcore by not telling that man that they were called D's nuts.
Yep.
Because we needed him.
He is well versed in hip hop. I'm sure he
No.
knows that phrase.
Listen,
He knows that
knows.
phrase.
Somebody
He knows that
somebody
phrase, and
needed to
Namjoon
tell
has
him.
told all of them several times. Absolutely, under no circumstances will you say
was
the
really
following
funny.
English phrases.
It was really funny hearing him say acorn. Acorn.
Acorn? What? Acorn? What?
He's the cutest fucking shit to ever exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does he
Speaking
say
of
it so
cute-
cutely and then act so not?
I know.
Speaking
It's
of cute,
time!
go on.
Wait, where did he
Speaking
go?
of cute,
Right. Gemini.
Chee!
Where did he go?
she.
Dimension.
Where is he? Where's my Muse album? Where is it?
Jimmy
Gives me cute aggression so bad.
It's me tonight, which I found out right before we went live. So Jim and She, it is 62 days till our Moshi returns to us. 2 years ago, 2 years ago, Jimin made history. About 2 years ago, not precisely today, but about 2 years ago, Jimin made history by becoming the first K-pop soloist to reach #1 on both Billboard Hot 100 and the Artist 100 chart with Like Crazy, breaking a 65-year-old record.
Look at him.
Ooh, Jimin.
Look at him.
Look at him. Look at him.
And
Ring
this one
of
is
honor.
for Katie because we know she loves talking about Who. Who is now the 13th longest charting song by a K-act on Spotify Global Daily Chart.
I have a
Not
little
a
bit of
soloist.
insider knowledge on that, and here's the reality. Jim actually thinks her name is Who. She's heard it so much.
Baby Jem.
Yeah.
Her name is
Baby Jem.
Baby Jem.
No, Baby Jem thinks her name is who.
What did I say?
If her first word is who, I will lose my
I will
fucking
die.
shit.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, we are tagging the BTS account the shit out of that if she gets
Yeah,
that
we
on
are.
camera.
If her first word is who, I am losing all of it.
Yeah. And I mean, so Big Sister, her bias, we think, it seems to be J-Hope. She seems pretty firmly in J-Hope's camp, although she does sometimes straighten to RM as well. So, but she seems firmly in at J-Hope's camp. So Katie, as a Jimin bias, took that personally. So maybe Little Gem can grow into a Jimin bias. We'll see.
Who knows? You know?
We'll
see.
We'll see.
Um,
She definitely heard who enough.
Who knows?
Yes. Next up,
This motherfucker.
B.
B. Nuga Narado.
누가 나를 막아도
Where are you, V?
No.
I know I got a bunch of music to you.
I did actually.
Hey,
I did include that compilation for next week.
So,
Oh, nice.
Taehyung, we don't have a lot there. We don't have a lot from him.
You
right
shouldn't have
now.
said that. You shouldn't have said that.
No, she should have said that. Fucking
Because now he's going to show
I
up.
dare you. Fucking dare you, sir.
Somebody start the
Come
clock.
show
Let's
her
see how
wrong.
long before he
Come
shows
prove her
up.
wrong.
He's gonna show up.
It's all part of the
You've
plan.
you certainly
He
been
wants to go
quiet
to
out
the
here in
J-Hope-
these streets,
He wants to
sir.
go to a J-Hope concert, you
It's
know.
all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan. Your bias. Do you see the shelf behind me? Do you see Yuntan staring at you? So it is 61 days until our Lord and Savior and our fearless leader, Namjoon, return to us. 61 days.
That's all we
So,
got.
you know,
61.
just six. Let's be happy. If you guys haven't checked them out already, on our various social media platforms, we do have daily countdowns for all the members who are still in the military, counting down their 100 days. Namjoon and Taehyung have one together because they're coming out on the same day, and Jimin and Jungkook have one together because they are coming out on the same day, and then we have one for Yoongi. And so they drop every day at different hours. We tailored them to the members specifically. Namjoon and Taehyung have a song it's their mixtape, so every day is different song recommendations from them. It's really cool, so check those out if you haven't seen them yet. The Singularity MV, we all know that little ditty, right? Just that
That little precious gem.
precious song. It is almost 7 years old. Later next month it will be, or later this month, end of this month, I think, it will be 7 years old. and it has reached almost 200 million views on YouTube.
Wow.
So yes, it's almost there. It's almost at 199 million. It's like right about teetering on the edge to 199 million. So it would be pretty cool if we could get that to 200 million views before he comes back from the military. So go ahead and torture yourself. Just give it a few watches every day.
Nice.
And
Yeah. And if you go onto our project account, once upon a time, I was asked to make a Singularity edit that is currently on the project account, and
It's the beginning
yeah.
of your downfall.
I've totally recovered.
You know,
No, you haven't.
not even a little bit. She got wrecked so fucking hard.
you got wrecked real
So,
hard.
like, listen, I like to think of that
Anyway.
song as Singularity.
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 And last but not least,
Your rhymes are
time
fucking
for the other Golden Magne.
John Cookie!
Jungkook. Jungkook.
John Jungkook.
62 days, as I mentioned earlier, until the Golden Magne and his sassy roommate Jimin return home. Huzzah. And I'm sure they will yeet each other as soon as they come out that gate because they're probably real tired of each other for right now. I know that Jungkook is probably going to throw Jimin at Taehyung. Have him.
Soulmates. Ugh.
Take him, please.
Take him back.
It's your turn. And if you hadn't already heard, we've talked about it before. Jungkook's Golden Moments exhibition is opening in New York City. Not now, Alexa.
Oh, I missed that. It hasn't happened in a while. So.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah.
So in just a couple of days, actually, it's opening on the 11th, so Friday. And it is running all the way to May 11th, so a whole month of Jungkook's Golden Moments exhibition in New York City. Tickets are still available. It's fever.com, right?
Fever.com and
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm going on Saturday.
Yes. Patricia is going on Saturday, the 12th, with a bunch of other
With-
89ers.
A lot of AB5 to
But if you go during the week and not on a weekend, they are giving out special gifts. And no, we have no idea what it is.
We don't know what those are.
I'm sure they'll pop up as
Who
soon as
are
they start
wondering,
rolling.
for those of you who are wondering, the very, very loud cat who's been meowing the entire time we've been talking about JK is Cookie.
Cookie.
His name is Cookie. And when he gets super loud like that,
Aw.
I call him John Cookie. So he knew we were talking about his namesake.
Full name.
And he thought,
Yeah,
full
I,
name.
full government names.
I need to be
So,
loud so everybody
That
can
is
hear.
everything that I have for the Magne. Christina?
Nice. Yeah, let's do OT7 real quick and then we'll get into some hype stuff. So here's my OT7 pick.
And then our week tea.
Yeah, we got a BTS reunion coming up, folks. I don't know if you've heard, but rumor is that we've got about 73 days to go, folks, until we got all 7 back. And some fun stuff's been going on in the charts. Idol has surpassed 500 million streams on Spotify. It's their latest song to do that, which means that BTS becomes the first K-pop act and Asian act in history to have 15 songs with over 500 million streams on Spotify, tying them with Maroon 5 and Imagine Dragons. So they are now 15 songs with over 500 million streams on Spotify. So congratulations.
Keep on
Wow,
coming.
way to
There's a
go.
You know what?
Yep.
You know what? I feel so proud to be in the 0.01% of listeners.
Love it.
It's
Love it.
It's like 0.001%. I'm like, yeah, because I stream them 24 hours. Anyway, basically. All right. So in Hype news, I'm gonna keep it a little. We got some not so fun news, and then we're gonna keep it lighter after that. The Korean wildfires that have been happening over there, and how we can help. So we here at Army Project 529 only recommend that people donate to charities that BTS themselves have donated to. And so with the
They've been
Korean
fully vetted.
wildfires, if you would, so that means they're vetted, they're considered trusted by Bangtan, therefore they're considered trusted by us, which is why when we raised money last year for BTS, like we were trying to raise money, we did it for UNICEF. because they've donated to UNICEF a lot and they've done a lot of campaigns with them. So we did a UNICEF donation drive, raised over 20,000 for that last year, which was awesome. So if you want to help out with the Korean wildfires, the locations they've donated to are the Korean Red Cross. The Korean Red Cross does only accept bank transfers in won. So if you don't have the ability to do that, the Hope Bridge Disaster Relief does accept PayPal. And so they've donated to both of those. And then HYBE donated 1 billion won, which is about 700,000, to the National Trust for Cultural Heritage to aid in the restoration of cultural heritage damaged or destroyed by the wildfires. And so that was pretty cool.
Thanks.
And then Jin also went out in these here streets and he donated using his hands
time.
and his time. And he was part of the volunteer teams out helping out in areas that were impacted by the fires. So, so there you go. Those are ways you can help out. In lighter news, HYBE employees recently were interviewed, and it brought back to light some of the employee benefits that this company offers. A while back, we had a Hire Me HYBE.
That was still one of my favorite memories.
Listen, in said Hire Me HYBE, I may or may not have volunteered to be Bang Si-hyuk's wife and also the medical director at HYBE, because I was like, y'all need a medical
director first.
Listen, these motherfuckers didn't listen to me at all. And last January, they opened up a complete medical center. I am mildly salty still at this situation.
Mildly?
Bang
Mildly?
Si-hyuk, I donated my time and my hand. But no, they hired a man.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
fine. It's fine. I'm not salty at all. It's whatever. They have it, it's not that I have a license in Korea nor speak the language, but you know what? That doesn't matter. It's delusion land, guys. It doesn't matter that I don't have a license over there, nor do I speak their language. I still
you're
want to do
saltier-
this. It doesn't
saltier
matter.
than-
It's fine.
You're saltier than
HYBE,
the
though,
world.
in good news, though, the cool part of this whole thing, HYBE was actually the first Korean entertainment company to operate an in-house clinic or healthcare center staffed by trained medical professionals. They can do IVs, general healthcare checkups, all of that in-house, which means that their staff and their idols do not have to go out and have their health information at risk. It's all inside under the tightest NDAs and security known to man. So actually it was quite a brilliant move on their part, and it gives
yeah.
health benefits to their teams.
Yeah.
Their teams also get bonuses if the entire team takes 100% of their vacation days. And on further sleuthing, I discovered that they also offer more paid vacation than is required by law. So they were like, Laj schmaz, we're not going to give however many weeks you say. We're going to increase that. We're going to go beyond. And then we're also going to say, if you take all of your vacation days, you get an end of year bonus.
Yeah.
Come on.
Nice.
That means you got supervisors of teams being like, I don't even care if you've got any place to go. Home staycation it is. You're going to stay your ass at home so that we all get our bonuses, which
Nice.
is quite
Cool.
brilliant. They also offer 100% salary for 6 months for maternity leave. Take that, U.S. That is bullshit right there. That makes me so mad to be in this nation. Like, come on, 100% paid maternity leave for six months.
Okay, well, anyway.
Anyways, as one Jung Hosik
Jealous.
already revealed to us, they have sleeping quarters they call nap rooms and bathrooms with showers, all locker room style. J-Hope showed those to us. We knew those existed.
He did.
But they also
Yep.
have rooms with massage chairs. So there you go. All the fun stuff happening happening over there at HYBE. They took tours of the place. It was cute. It's a cute interview. Go watch it. It's adorable.
All right,
Cool,
so
cool.
week tea.
Midweek tea.
I know, Kitty. I know.
I know.
Cookie.
Cookie
No.
is so mad that I'm not paying attention to him right now.
Who wants to start this one out, Christina?
Well, yeah.
Astra's getting angry.
Oh, here we go. Okay. So, we we try to scour the internet looking for facts because there's a lot of stuff about in the K-pop world, well, really in the world in general, but in the K-pop world specifically, which is where we are. The last thing that I saw that kind of gave me pause was that am I saying this right? Kakao Entertainment.
Cacao. Yeah,
Kakao Entertainment was recently fined 3.9 billion won, which is about 2.7 million US dollars for, and this is not opinion, this is just
It's a list.
research. Yeah, this is the list that we got offline. Deceiving consumers by abusing social networking services and online communities while promoting its music and albums. Okay. The Fair Trade Commission, FTC, determined that this was clearly deceptive advertising and imposed a corrective order with the fine, again, 390 million won, as it was revealed that the number one company in the music distribution market share used promotional techniques to deceive consumers and probably have a serious impact on some brand reliability, as one would guess, as well as the entire music industry, really. And so when Doc was talking about who are you fighting with online, literally what this is saying is there were people paid to go online and fight.
Yeah.
And
so you were fighting against Cacao and the people they hired.
Yep. So this is not, again, this is not opinion. This is a legal document that says this is what happened and why we gave them the fine. So this is not opinion. Okay.
So literally they were on social media sites like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and they opened, like, they had famous channels, like and they were doing it to like promote music and albums, but did not. It is very not specified everything that they were doing.
Right. So the info that we found was there was a total of 2,353 promotional posts that were confirmed on 15 different channels. And the posts were packaged and delivered to consumers as if they were, just natural fan opinions. But they were paid for and researched and sourced and copy pasted to people to basically sow dissent or to try and skew the public opinion that this particular song was better than this one. Yeah. And so the Fair Trade Commission, go ahead.
Yeah, and bear in mind that 2,353 posts were what the Fair Trade Commission could prove beyond shadow of a doubt were false posts paid for by Cacao. So these are just the posts they could prove were paid for and done by them.
Right. So, the last piece we have on that is the Fair Trade Commission judged this to be a deceptive act, obviously, that basically said, hey, this is a serious crime to destroy trust in the fact that in the music market where word of mouth and fandom, opinions are important, it's manipulation, pure and simple. It's paid manipulation, and it's considered a serious illegal act that disrupted market order, and so therefore that's why they got that heckin' fine. So I guess the upswing of it and I saw a comment in our live just now saying basically you touched on this on Sunday. Yeah, we were talking about when you get online and you fight, or you get online and you see people going, this is the best song I've ever heard. It's then when you find out that people are paid to do all that, some people are paid to do all that, that erodes a lot of trust.
Yeah, somebody's asking who were they promoting. You need to understand that Cacao is affiliated with some of the biggest entertainment companies in Korea. Yes. So there were a lot of people being promoted and a lot of people from opposing companies being torn down. So we're not going to say names in here. You can look it up yourself. All we're saying is they were affiliated with some very, very large entertainment companies.
Yep. Yep. So anyways, once again, just to, that's the space where we operate in. And I remember once upon a time seeing Jin accepting an award at an award show, and he was quoted as saying, "Wouldn't it be cool if we all just made music honestly?"
Mhm.
And I very strongly agree with him that to make it honestly is the way to go. So anyway, that's the week tea for that. And once again, not opinion. You can look it up. There's Naver articles. There's all kinds of stuff. If you're on Twitter X, you can go and search that up and just look for Cacao Entertainment
Yeah.
basically, and you'll find all the articles. So
Yeah, I think
Anyway.
my favorite part of this week tea was the timing of it. In that we literally just told you guys on Sunday that you're oftentimes fighting against companies who are paying companies to do this, and then like days later, 3.9 billion won
Yeah.
fine because they were doing exactly what we said companies are doing. So know who you're fighting against online in these fan wars are not usually or very often actual.
When money is involved,
Yeah.
like nobody out there is perfect. Nobody out there is perfect, guys. Business sometimes makes people do some crazy
Right.
things.
This is also why
Right.
not allowing yourself to spend time fighting online is the best approach, because imagine the detriment to somebody like Cacao who paid all this money in order to sway public opinion online pretending to be fans. Nobody engages. Now they just threw that money away because nobody engaged. That post didn't go viral. That
That's right.
information didn't go out there. They didn't get clicks on their website because of it. So they ended up wasting that money. Eventually they'll stop wasting that money to create these fake fights because it's not giving them the dividends and the returns that they're
Well,
hoping.
here's the thing too. We had this conversation about something a little different, but the premise still remains the same. It's in the best interest of supposedly of these companies to get everybody riled up and worked up, because the more people are emotional, the more they buy shit, the more they'll stream. You know, they people. I always say to first make people give, you must first make them feel. Right. And so the narrative is always get people worked up, get people worked up, get people worked up. And then that competitiveness starts, and then they start, doing all kinds of stuff. So it's not for no reason, but it's as shady as shit. Like if win things, get numbers honestly. And, but they're not, they can't obviously. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you got to manipulate.
Right.
Anyway.
If they could get numbers honestly, they wouldn't be fake starting fan wars online.
Exactly right.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
True.
Stephanie, take it away.
Stephanie,
Let's talk
that's
about
it.
LA.
Stephanie.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to put this in the proper context of the whole thing, and a lot of the proper context is thinking about where I started a little over a year ago, talking to chickens and having nobody do anything with. And so we went to Chicago, had the time of our life with about 100 AP 529ers. And then someone on social media reached out to me and said, hey, come to LA. I'd love to give you a ticket. You can stay in my hotel room. I was going to sleep on a cot. And I was like, I don't know this person from Adam, but sold. I'll go. Right. And so she was wonderful. Her name's Diana. She's absolutely wonderful. But it was funny because in the message, when she was messaging me, she said, I've been on one of Nuna's Nucci's tours. Here's my name. You can confer with her in case you're worried. And I was like, I'm not worried. Hey, I did check.
Army just trust each other, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I wouldn't recommend always doing that, but we feel like we can trust Army. So then I had another person reached out to me, Mandy, who I didn't know other than social media, and said, I would love to pick you up at the airport. Can I do that for you? And then take you back to the airport. And I was like, sure. And so literally I'm just walking through the airport looking for Mandy. I don't know her from Adam. And we hit it off wonderfully. She drove me through LA, dropped me off at the hotel, and it was fabulous. Okay. So we go to Hobie, which was of course amazing. So there was me and Diana, the person that invited me, and her friend Jen, who she met on the tour in South Korea, and then Noms from our project was there.
Jen is in the project too, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Jen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Jen's in the project too, and now Diana is going to be too, and they're coming to Kansas City, I believe. And then so we had Noms. I always joked and said we had Diana, Noms, a Jen, the other Jen is what we started calling her, and then Deb. Deb was there. And we just had the time of our life. We just absolutely had the time of our life. And for me, it was just a little different because every time I've done something, I've had the admin team or a big group around me. And this time I was just like going across the country and not necessarily knowing what I was getting myself into. But it was really beautiful. The concert was of course, amazing. A very, very I wouldn't say it's not better than Chicago or any of the other ones, but being in an outdoor stadium was just a completely different vibe.
Yeah.
And I've never been to an OT7 concert. It was the closest that I could, kind of get a little bit of an idea of what that will be like, with all of that, with the fireworks and the whole 9 yards. So it was a very, very different environment, and it was awesome. Okay, but anyway, so that's all a given. And then the next day, we get up, we decide we're going to try to go to the merch line. And it was so long that it would have taken us like 5 minutes. And I was like, not 5 minutes, 5 hours. I wish 5 minutes. And I was like, I don't think I want to spend my one day. I have really a full day here standing in line at a merch line. And so we decided not to. We went back and then we went to Line Friends instead, where we all spent.
That was a nice choice.
Yeah. And we all spent a lot of money. But here's the thing that was so fun. Okay, here's what made it fun. So we go park in the parking garage, and then as soon as you get out, you start seeing all the elevator like doors and all the things. And Jen is just everywhere. Like all his Dolby commercial things, his images, he's just everywhere. So we're taking picture. It's the same photo. I have like 50 photos of Jen. It's the exact same photo, but it's all on different things.
Different billboards.
Yeah, billboards and doors and
You were literally out here. You were literally out here Nim Juning, taking pictures of yourself in front of a poster of Jen.
Absolutely.
There you go. Same thing.
I absolutely was. And so then you're just sort of on this high, right? Because you've just seen this concert the night before and you're in all your feels and you're having the best time. And so you're like, oh, money, what is that? And yeah. So we went to the K-pop store, which is where I bought all the Daikon things. But guess what? I'll have to give a story about that. They're all basically the exact same thing, except for a different person on the cover. So I opened the sugar one, and I'm going to give the rest away in Kansas City because they're all basically the same thing. Because I got 4 of them. So I learned that lesson, but I did get to experience my first huge, 2-story K-pop store, which that was really cool. Ooh. Then we went to, I'm not going to say it right, the Agassi. It was a Korean restaurant that Suga goes to whenever he's in town.
Agassi?
Yes. Something, yes. And I posed in front of his name, his autograph. Aww. That was thrilling. Oh, I got to back up. At Line Friends, I got to put my hands in their handprints.
Yep.
Nice.
That was really cool. My hand is bigger than Jimin's.
Thank you, Janella.
RM's hands are thick. Okay?
Yeah, they are.
And I don't mean that in a weird way. They just are. Okay?
All of us are like, mm-hmm.
I was like watching the word. I was like, there's no other way to put it.
Right.
They are.
Tay's fingers are very long and thin.
Yes, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We're not going to make it through all 7. Just keep going. Hurry up. Go faster.
Continue. Go on.
You have to do all 7.
I didn't make it weird. Somebody else did. Tell me more. Okay.
Anybody else need a drink?
Okay. My hands were probably most like Hobie's in terms of size, like almost like perfectly. We could hold hands and it would be like perfect. But anyway, that was all. That was really cool. And just for the record, there's no way to say this without sounding gross, but like Suga's hands are very all his lines are like very veiny. Like go look at my video. Just go look. Okay.
Listen, Stephanie, those of us who are absolutely the fuck obsessed with all of Bangtan's hands are not surprised that Minion hands are veiny.
Yeah, Jen is agreeing with me in the comments. Okay, they were very
no shock here.
No shock.
So, no thumb. No, there was no thumb.
It's fine. Oh,
no.
This is fine.
Okay. So then we went to eat at the restaurant. The food was out of this world. The food was amazing. Okay, then I got to get into that part. Okay. I could eat that every day. And I'm like, okay, this is why the guys freak out every time okay, I get it. Okay. So then we get to the point where that night we went to an event that Sleep D's was hosting. Now, Sleep D's, those of you that don't know, he's a reactor sort of, and really I would say educator about BTS on YouTube. And he was having like a pop-up sort of event.
My Time, by the way.
He is such an amazing producer.
Yes, and the producer of My Time, right? And so he talked a lot about like Map of the Soul 7 and da-da-da. So he had Varnell with him. And they do a thing together where he's introducing Varnell to BTS slowly, like solos out of, he started with all the solos. Mm-hmm. And that was a lot of fun. It was just this really cool, it was like this garage. They had a taco truck and they had like seats and then they had cushions all over and we just sat around and he would play a song. And then Varnell, he started playing BTS songs, which Varnell has never heard group songs before. And so we got his live reaction to that, which was a lot of fun. And I'm hoping, I'm sure it's going to be a vlog soon. It's going to be up on his website. You guys have to watch it. But let me back up a little bit. So he had 2 other guests that you guys have to watch. So the first one was a voter who gets to vote for the Grammys.
Super interesting.
And he came in and really talked about the whole process and why he thinks that BTS doesn't ever win and stuff like that. I'm not going to give any spoilers because it wasn't my thing to show, but go watch that when it comes out because it was really interesting. And then there was a female attorney, a music attorney who works with artists, and she gave her impression of the music, and she is phenomenal. But anyway, so she gave her impression of the music industry and all that, so she was great. And then we did the music. And here's what was so beautiful about the music part was he'd pick a song, like I think he started with On. I think. So the music starts going, right? And Varnell's sitting there listening to it, and he's like, oh, and so he's thinking out loud. Well, Army, I've never really experienced it like that, especially OT7 songs, other than Mic Drop. They are just singing at the top of their lungs. That place was rocking. And even like the woman that was the attorney and the Grammy guy who don't know anything about BTS, they were kind of like, what in these? They were just like, what is going on? Okay, so they did a couple of songs, and then the special guest walked in, and it was Game Boy 310, and I freaking lost my shit. Lost my shit.
Love him.
He's my favorite.
Love
and
it.
I texted Sean, and I was like, oh my God, you're never going to be answers here. And I love him. His eyes are even more amazing in real life. And as I said in my vlog, I think we might eye contact at one point, possibly more than once.
Fair enough.
Just because I was on the very front row. I was on the very, very front row.
Very.
So he was
Where
there.
he belonged.
The whole thing was amazing, and they talked a lot about. He was trying to talk to Varnell. He's like, "So tell me, like, at what point are you actually Army? Because you seem to be Army at this point." And so Varnell's kind of fighting it, and it was just great conversation. That was just so. Anyway, my favorite part, and the part where I kind of puffed up a little bit, and I got some pride in me was, Sleep was talking about community, and he was talking about the importance of community, and I was like, yeah, that's like our thing, like, right, like I'm here with you, I got it. And so it just kind of confirmed for me that I think everybody in Army is sort of feeling the same way, like especially as they get closer to coming back. I think everybody's sort of coming back into the fold if you haven't been, if you already haven't been. And this whole concept of building community and experiencing it together just makes a huge difference, right? Like all of us, most of us, our journey started with Army or with BTS alone. We didn't really have other people. We did things alone. We would have gone to the movies. We would have watched stuff. We would have whatever. And Doc and I talked about it after the Chicago concert. It would have been one thing to go to the concert sort of alone, come back to a hotel room alone and not really having anybody to process with, but having other people around you that understand you and understand them and understand your love, and they get just as excited and just as passionate. I mean, that is it's really, really powerful. And so sitting in that room amongst a couple of hundred, probably Army, was literally one of the most powerful. I literally cried. Like, I was like, this is exactly like it reminded me of Kansas City.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. It really reminded me of Kansas City. So anyway, so the night ended. with basically dancing and all that. And Noms tried to pull me out into the dance floor. I was like, hell no, because they are live streaming this.
Hell
And
no.
So I just kind of stood back and watched.
I love how the only thing that stopped you really from hitting that dance floor was the fact that they were live streaming.
Yes.
If there were no cameras there, I bet your ass would have been out there with her.
Probably.
Well,
if there would be no documented proof.
I'm just kind of giggling to myself the irony of the person who did a Super Tuna dance challenge on. Anyways, we won't talk about that. Anyway, go ahead.
But here's the other thing that was really beautiful, and I think one of the things that made me cry, and again, it reminded me of Kansas City, was you're looking around this room at people who literally just were obviously among their people, right? Which is the first beautiful thing. The other thing was they were all ages, all races, all, like we had people there we had a couple people in a wheelchair. I mean, it was just all walks of life, all different kinds of people, all backgrounds, and none of it mattered because we were all just there having the time of our life. And I got to watch people that I adore, and Noms and Diana and Jen and Deb just dancing and having the best time. And that event, like I literally, and you guys can probably tell the difference. Like I came back and I was like, okay, this is what it's about. This is exactly what it's about. And Noms kept saying to me, the whole weekend, she was like, I don't think you ever let yourself think about what this project has become. And what it means to people, and which I really don't, because like I told you guys, you kind of get in your head too. If you think about it too much, you kind of get up here in your head and then you kind of get stuck. So I really don't think about it. But she kept saying, like she and Diana would keep saying, you have to think about it. You have to think about the relationships that have been formed here because of this project and what we as a team of 6 and all the volunteers have done. And so I was telling the girls last night, I said, to me, what I've seen is the progression. Okay, so it started off, we had this little group of 6, plus our small group of volunteers. And then that sort of started to grow in the Discord and people started to meet each other. And then from there, we kind of did movies together, right? And you kind of met a few more people and you kind of got a little bit more out of your comfort zone. And then we had Kansas City, which changed everything. And so you have these people that came to Kansas City not knowing each other, most people were like, remember the Discord before? I'm very introverted. I probably won't talk to anybody. Like all of those conversations going on. And everybody was nervous about it. And they walked out of there, the best of friends. They slept with people they didn't know in the same hotel room for days. They walked out like loving each other. So that by the time Hobie came around in Chicago, there was no doubt everybody wanted to go and be together. Right?
Right.
Which made it the most powerful, beautiful experience. I mean, I hope we can some way figure out how to do that again for OT7. But so I'm just seeing this progression of the project. So when he was talking about community, all of that shit was kind of going through my brain, and I was just like, I was all in my feels and I was crying. It was like, and I was just like, I was all in my feels and I was crying. It was like, it was crazy. But so the next phase for us is obviously next step. We'll do, hopefully we're doing Kansas City again, and maybe 50 or so more people who will get to experience that. And then right on the heels of that, we'll have the Korea tour for 20 that are going. But right after that, at some point, we have OT7 coming.
OT7.
And that as a group will be amazing.
Yeah. I love that's the second night in a row that I've heard that story. I love it every time you tell it, Steph. I think it's such a cool thing.
I don't think we think about tour. It's really easy when you operate on social media a lot to just kind of be in your pocket of social media. And like sometimes you might interact with some other people here and there. Like we've made connections here and there, but like for the most part, you stay in your little pocket of social media. And then when you like go out into the world and you like meet all these people that are in their own pockets of social media, and then you like start talking together, or when you're meeting people from your community that are like also part of another community, and the community it's a great it's big to think about, and it can be scary, which is why I think sometimes we don't think about it as much.
Yeah, we don't think about it. Well, with that comes we've talked about this a lot as a group, as an admin team, but kind of with the growth comes naturally more pressure and more okay, maybe pressure is not the right word, but we feel more responsibility, right? Because you have more people that want to be a part, and you feel like you still need to touch everyone and see everyone and appreciate each one and get to know each one, but it becomes more and more and more difficult to do that. Like we've said, like when the Discord first started, we knew everybody because there weren't very many. And now we've got, what, 3,000 people?
Over 3,000.
It's impossible for us to do that. But luckily we, our inner circle has rippled out, right? And
people make friends and friends and friends.
Yes. And so as we grow, although we as a six may not be able to touch every, and by touch, obviously, I mean like virtually, and see every person. So I think that's partly why like my head doesn't go there, because in my heart, my goal with the whole project was for people to not feel alone.
Yep.
And so my fear became, if we grow too big, then people are just going to be in another group where they feel not seen because it's so big. But we have somehow managed, because of the people in the project, to do it where still everybody feels a part of a community, and it doesn't feel too big to be loved and seen and understood and accepted and all of those things.
Because everybody finds like somebody either
And I
near or
think
close.
Sorry, go ahead, Patricia.
No, for me, it was like super interesting because I was thinking about this. Like the first person that I met in person from the project was Nikita, who came all the way from Philly to meet me for a Cup Sleeve event here in New York. And it was the two of us doing BTS stuff in New York for a long time. And this Saturday, I'm meeting with 15 people. It went from Nikita to 15 people.
Nice. Nice.
I think we've always made it very clear, and we were talking about this again last night, that when we talk about the community, that it's not just about us. So it's not like us that you guys have to like, and we know that a lot of people enjoy meeting us and talking to us and coming to see us, and we love that. But it's not just us in this community. We have a lot of people, and they've seen what they've listened to us, and they've watched us in person, and they've heard what we've talked about as far as it's about everybody, and they've taken it and they've replicated it. So like first, like our mods and our volunteers, like they've reached out to people, and we have our envoys now in the Discord, and they reach out to people, and people who have made these like pockets of friends and they know each other, a lot of them in person, they reach out and they embrace people, and so it just keeps replicating itself. So that's, I think, what you mean about like it. I don't feel like our community is going to become one of those ones where it's like you go into like a Discord server and there's like 10,000 people in it, and nobody knows anybody, and you're worried and you don't feel like talking. I know that we have a lot of lurkers, but some people are just it's fine. Some people just like to observe, but I think that when a lot of people have said, okay, I've lurked for a while, but now I feel ready to talk. And that's great. And so I think that's a testament to our community, is that they are taking it on themselves to replicate and reach out. And
I think the other thing that I told the team last night that thrilled my soul was the number of people that came up to me and came up to all of us in Chicago. They know the project. They may not necessarily, quote unquote, be a part of it. They're not like in the Discord. They're not necessarily on our lives, but they know of the project. That was that was one thing. But the other thing that really thrilled me was our members that were at the concerts, and their absolute pride for the project. To the point that they wanted to have the banners, and they wanted to wear the shirts, and they wanted to have their Army Project pins and the hats and the whatever. They wanted to promote the project because they love it so much, right? Like we're not out there begging people to promote it. They want to do it because they love it. Now that is something that you can't fake. Like, you know what I mean? Like that to me was the most beautiful thing of the whole, of it all.
It was a little overwhelming too, because we sometimes feel like we're not doing enough. And it was nice in Chicago to feel like even if like a couple people were like, this has been so helpful to me because of this reason, like that just feels really good.
Yeah.
It does. Totally feels good. So
Yeah.
I,
Well,
I
and the
think
6 of
one of
us were walking, or 5 of us, because Katie wasn't there
yeah.
because of Jeff. But so we were all walking down the street, and I remember we saw somebody walking the opposite direction with our Hobie shirt on that you made, and we were all like, "Oh my!" Like we were like fangirling over the T-shirt that the person was wearing. That, you know what I mean? It was like it was a huge moment for us.
We
It
were
was
wearing
exciting.
it and we were like,
well, and then I
Yeah.
think one of the things that surprised me in Chicago was we would see a 529 shirt, especially when the 5 of us were together. We would see a 529 shirt and we would scream 529, and the person would look at us, or the people. Sometimes there's a whole group of them, and they'd be like, first they started off with like, they were gonna scream 529, and then they saw who it was screaming 529, and they were like, oh my god, it's you!
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Flash!
Yeah.
I think that was one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
The other thing and I think we've touched on it quite a bit, is one of my favorite parts of this project is we have created an ability to find community when you are an introvert. Because many of us on the admin team are introverts. I don't know if you figured that out yet, but the thing is like we struggle to find community and friendship when we're introverted, because we don't like to go outside of our house where the people are. But we like the people. Like we like people, and we like humans. We just
like
don't
our
like.
people.
We don't like going out where they're strange and unknown to us. And one of the things that I've realized with the project, and we saw it come to fruition in Kansas City and in Chicago and in LA, and it's going to happen again in Kansas City, is when you get a bunch of introverts together in a safe place online, where we meet each other but not really, and like whatever, all of a sudden you throw 90% of the Kansas City meetup was introverts, roughly. Felt like.
Totally.
But you suddenly throw us together, and like our badges have our usernames on them, like our Discord usernames and stuff. And it's all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, no, I know you. And all of a sudden, all those introvert barriers are gone. They melt, because it doesn't matter that there's 100 other people there. You feel like the 100 other people there, and suddenly they're not a scary crowd of strangers. They're a family
Right.
of people with common interests. So like, you're not looked at, especially if you're a neurodivergent introvert like this guy over here. Suddenly you're not looked at as some weirdo who's got this hyperfixation with this group of guys that you don't even speak the same language or whatever else. You have found 100, 150 other people who are also in love with the same thing you're in love with, and obsessed with the same thing you're obsessed with. And now you have 150 friends in a room, and not scary strangers. And I think for me, that's been like one of the biggest impacts and surprises of this community that we've created here with AP529, is like, we've allowed that ability for a fuck ton of introverts who love Bangtan to find friends. That then you can feel comfortable doing things with, and going out with, and having fun with. And
You get your inside jokes, which is awesome.
Exactly.
They know what the
All
red
right.
card is. They know what the yellow card is. They
I
know.
know.
And it's
We
weird
should-
to know that we had as many people in Chicago as we had in Kansas City.
I know.
Yeah. No, that's true. But all right. Well, we went a little bit over, but I think it was a really good discussion. And now I feel all warm and fuzzy. Ugh. Anyway, let's do some reminders. And also, Katie, sorry she couldn't join us, but she did pop into our Discord and tell the admin team that we're doing great this week. So,
Aww.
Katie says hi.
I love you.
I know. We love you, Katie. All right. So,
I
real
fucking
quick,
love you.
for those that are interested, and if you already listen to Bangtan's music, because of course you do, we have a streaming, charting, voting channel in the Discord where we talk about all things related to charting and streaming and voting for their music. So if you are in our Discord, come hang out in that channel. And if you're not, come join the Discord and come hang out with streaming, charting, voting. I also do a website a web page on our site where we list all the current things that we're going after. So yeah, it's fun. We swap playlists and we share when Bangtan gets an award for something. And so it's really fun. So come hang out there. All right, who's next?
I believe I'm the next one up. Sorry, I was answering somebody's question in the chat. Discord watch parties is something that we do. We get together on a regular basis to watch various contents. There are people who meet in U.S. time, European time, to watch various things. There's Jeannie's Kitchen watch parties, Run BTS watch parties, content watch parties. Now that's one thing you should not miss. There's a European content watch party, and Lisa, or Quince over here, who writes our blog, hosts a watch party every Thursday night in the Discord, and she reads through the blog. Listen, you have never had a blog narrated properly until you have had it narrated by the one who wrote it.
That's right.
Listen,
True.
narration by author is better than anything else, because
Find me a better BTS blog.
all of the nuances and tone and texture that she wants you to fucking understand when she writes those words, she will read it to you. Yeah, she will.
Exactly. Find me a better BTS blog.
It's
Answer
so
false.
good. It's so good. So then she chooses, curated various few links from the blog. So you're not going to get the entirety of the blog during the watch party, but you are going to get the text of it and some of the most epic videos. And so it is a must attend situationship over in the server, and I highly recommend it. But yeah, we got things going almost every night except the nights we go live. So basically fucking every night. And then we also will randomly host watch parties when there's new music releases, or if we're awake. Unlike none of us fucking were at 4 a.m. this morning when we also didn't get the notification. But usually if we're awake when a live goes up, we will throw that up in the streaming channel. So lots of fun, and you never have to Bangtan alone. So
Yep.
There you go.
join us over there.
Nice.
Well, I mean, there's that talk up.
Speaking of the blog.
The blog.
April. Week 65. I mentioned it at the beginning of the live, but I'm going to talk it up again. It is our first week of Tapril. Kim Taehyung, who, yes, is my alt bias. So if you attend the watch party for the next 4 weeks, starting tomorrow, you are likely to see me have a breakdown.
It's fine.
Lots of this.
Everything's fine.
It's fine. Just break down with her, squeak,
Yep.
flap your hands.
And
It's fine.
week 1 of Tapril, week 65 of the blog is called I've Been Hiding It Until Now. So yes, 8:30 tomorrow night. Please do join us. Riven usually comes and hangs out and hosts with me. He's also her alt bias as well, so it's going to be meltdowns ahoy.
It's fine.
Mhm.
Everything's probably fine.
Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be so fun, you guys. It's going to be a great time. Bring a friend. Bring some popcorn. We're going to be covering Taehyung from debut until 2016. We will be covering those time periods. So,
Tiny Taehyung.
fuck off.
Zygote Taehyung. Just teeny.
And
I
if you
will-
want
I
to know,
will-
if you want to know why we're not covering pre-debut Taehyung, you need to read the blog and come to the watch party.
Oh, smart.
My emotional support Tata and my emotional support Taehyung blanket. So join us.
As you should. As you should.
You guys.
As you should. It's the only way. Okay.
This is the way.
Our next slide is in YouTube. Sunday, April 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. Meet us there for a deep dive, weekly deep dive. We'll be talking, choosing a topic, talking about it, and having a good time, as usual.
Nice.
And maybe we'll get off the rails and talk about squirrels. Who knows? Who knows?
You do never know.
Hey, thank you to everybody for joining us tonight in midweek. It's a big sacrifice, I know. We loved having you. We'll see you guys Sunday night. Have a good rest of your week. Join Quince tomorrow night, and we'll see everybody on Sunday.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you.
Jorge.
Love you.
Guys.
Take care. Have a good